Babes, my name's Chasity.
My name's Anita.
And my name is Alicia.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today we have a little bit of a different setup. We're going to be doing our October reading wrap-up with these lovely ladies. In October we had a little bit of a book competition to see who could read the most books in October. The winner was Santana, but it was a close competition. It was a really close competition.
Very close.
Yep.
She only won because she speed read on the very last night.
The last couple hours.
The last couple hours, yeah. How many did you have?
14? Yeah, because you had 13, right?
Yeah.
So I had 14.
So I had 13 and you had
12.
So, like I said, very close. So do you want to get us started with your very first one?
Yeah, sure. The first one I listened to actually was Layla. I read it, the first one, day one, completely through, me and my husband. I gave it 4 stars. Honestly, I've only read 2 Colleen Hoover books. They both hit for me. That's all I can say.
Colleen's the best.
She is. I'm trying to pick which one I want to read next by her. But Layla had such an interesting, premise. The twist did not see coming. So, I gave it 4 stars.
I think in the mood you're in right now, you should go for Heartbones.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
That's what I've been looking at, that one, and then It Ends With Us. Is that,
yeah, It Ends With Us is really, really good. I really, really want you to read that one, but
okay.
I think in the mood you're in right now, Heartbones might hit for you.
Alright, cool. Then I will put that on my list.
I will go next.
Okay.
You're like, whatever. So the next one that I read was The Laughing Corpse. That's number 2 in the Anita Blake series. I was definitely binging this one by Laurel K. Hamilton. The Laughing Corpse was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. I'm not going to give a ton away on this series because there's not really a whole lot I can say without giving away major spoilers. But I highly recommend this series for anybody who really likes vampire books, any kind of shifter books, anything paranormal, fantasy. Chloe, shut up. Anything along those lines. I don't know what her problem is. But it's... seriously? What's with the attitude right now? So, I would recommend any of the Laurel K. Hamiltons to any vampire readers. And it's you.
Oh, hello. Okay, so my first book was Yellow Wife by Sadika Jackson. I gave that one a 4 star. I really like the main character. Her name was Phoebe. It's kind of like an old, 1800 slavery story, but it's really good, very, feminist, standpoint, you could say. But it was really, really good. I would recommend to someone who really is into Bridgerton.
I really wanted to read that one.
I have never heard of it.
I can't believe
that one's really, really good.
Never heard of it.
I wonder if you were working at the store yet, if one that was on the table.
Possibly. Because I don't remember seeing it on any table.
Yep, it was really, really good.
I have to put that on my... What was it? It's a Yellow Wife, right?
Yellow Wife.
Es you, Santana.
So, my second one
I
read. Yeah. Second one I read.
Oh boy.
Was Skeleton King? Skeleton King. I took the fall. I did it.
Okay, so you remember last month when I said that my friend did finish the book? It was this one.
I regret it every second of my life. I gave it 1 star. I did finish it. I didn't DNF it. I gave it 1 star though. If you are a fan of Night Before Christmas, don't bother. I still get moments where I see Night Before Christmas merch or the show or the movie, and I'm like,
that was my fear. And that's why I DNF'd.
You were valid. I swear, it's not. It's well written. I'll be honest. She has a way with words. It's very vivid.
It was very vivid.
Very vivid. Just not for me.
Fair.
Not for me.
Fair.
Mini, if that's your thing, good for you. Have at it.
No shame.
Not for me.
No shame here, but definitely not our kind of read.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm just really not going to be saying a whole lot here because I feel like when I actually get further in, I'm gonna be having like in-depth videos on these books, but the next one was Circus of the Damned, which is number 3 in the Anita Blake series. I gave this one 5 stars. I really loved experiencing Circus of the Damned, and actually like that vibe was so much fun. I know nobody knows what I'm talking about unless you've read these, but please just go read the Anita Blake books. Read the Anita Blake books.
I've been trying to find them.
I did look today for the first one for
did?
you. I did not find it. But read the Anita Blake books, okay? Okay.
Oh, sure.
Just let me add it to my endless TBR.
Okay, my second book was A Clockwork Orange. One of my favorite books that I reread, like, for my 10th time.
Still have never read that.
I have it.
If you like psychological thrillers, you should read it. And you should also watch the movie.
I've seen the movie, but I've never read
The book is so good.
I don't know
It's
anything. I've not seen the
sorry.
movie. I've not read it or anything.
Put it on
Completely
your
in the dark.
list.
It's pretty
It's
messed up.
very.
It is? Okay. I've heard great things.
If you're into like Get Out or Us and the whole psychological horror aspect of fear through crime, this book is really good. And it's things that would scare me, that would happen in real life.
Yeah, it's very like the realistic fear aspect.
Realistic
Yeah.
fear.
Like you don't have to be like, you know, it's not like some Michael Myers type
No.
jump scare.
Spiders.
Yeah, like no,
Okay.
it's just like realistic.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. I will have to put that on there then. Maybe
Yes,
I'll read that
please.
next October. My third book was Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. I've read Neon Gods, adored it. Got the Arc of Electric Idol, adored it. So I picked up Desperate Measures. I gave it 3 stars. It's really well written. I just feel like it's all smut, no plot. I mean, I enjoyed the relationship, but I feel like there could have been so much more there.
Mm-hmm.
So much more backstory. There's the whole safe word. I don't know anything about it really. I read the whole book and I still don't know where it came from.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
That's really disappointing.
I mean,
I haven't finished it yet, but
No.
I'm curious about the safe word and all that,
Yeah.
and there's just
I mean,
no
it's-
follow through. No.
it is like, it's good. I see why people enjoy it. It's just, I feel like there could have been more plot.
That's one of her earlier ones, too, right?
Yeah, I believe it was one of the earlier ones.
Excuse me.
But I gave it 3 stars. Like, I did enjoy it. I have debated whether or not to get the next one, but I'm not sure yet. If I can get it on sale, I might.
Fair. Okay, so the next one that I read, I was continuing in the Seabreeze series by Abby Lyons. Number 7 was Bad for You, and it was Crit's story with a new character named Blythe. I really enjoyed Blythe and what she added to the story. Her backstory was really interesting, and I really loved that. I liked seeing how Crit changed a bit. Crit was not my favorite character in Seabreeze, and I think he had a little bit of some issues that I would have liked to see a little bit more growth on, but you know, I gave it 3 stars because this was not my favorite in Seabreeze, but it was okay. I really did like Blythe. So, that's about all I have for that one.
Wow. Okay. My third book was Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh, I want to read this one.
And this one follows a 9-year-old girl named Chio and how she was basically sold to a geisha house in her life through that. It's also a movie.
I've seen part of the movie.
I did not.
And it was really good. I love that book. It's one of my favorites. Also, if you're really into Asian culture or any history with Asian culture, that's really a book that you should read because it tells you a lot about the Asian culture at that time. It's one of my favorite. It's a 5-star.
Okay, Santana, your turn.
Alright.
We have another guest star.
My next book was City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. It's a middle grade, like, it's about a girl who can see ghosts, essentially. It's middle grade. I love Victoria Schwab, V.E. Schwab, whichever one you read by. I really enjoyed it for a middle grade book. I gave it 4 stars. I mean, I don't know really what to say about it. It's pretty much what I wanted in October. Something not too spooky. Not too spooky, but like...
But spooky enough.
Spooky enough.
Nice.
And her writing is just always so nice. So, quick and easy read.
Quick and easy. We like that. Speaking of spooky, I continued on with some spooky. The Rules of Magic. It was Practical Magic, number 2 by Alice Hoffman. Gross quote. I gave that one 5 stars. I love Alice Hoffman. I love the whole practical magic aspect. This one was probably one of my favorites because it was about Franny and Jet, the ants in Practical Magic. Have you guys seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?
I have.
Okay, so this is the story of the ants.
Oh!
I loved it. Loved it so much.
Actually, I think I have that one at home. I just didn't read it.
You should read it. I love this one so much.
I didn't read it.
This video is a lot of me going, I don't know what that is.
That's okay. I mean, that's okay.
Oh.
Look at you. She's a star, guys. She is a star. She didn't want to eat her treats on the floor. She wanted to eat them on the camera. Yeah. She's a star. It's gross, Chloe. It's really gross.
Okay.
My next book was called American Bastard by Jan Beatty. I went to a fiction conference in October, and it was called Lit Youngstown in Ohio, and I met her, and she read like the book, like 2 chapters of it, and it was like the best thing I have ever heard because she's really raw, and it tells about her life and how she was trying to find her dad because she never knew her dad, and the life that she had without her dad, and how she found out who her dad was, and it just was a journey of her life and things that she wanted to fix before turning 60. So that was really interesting, and I gave that one a 5 star because that was my first time really reading like a kind of like a biography, but it had poetry in there as well.
Oh, that's nice.
That's interesting.
It was really well written. So 5 star, you guys should read it.
That sounds really interesting.
It does. I bet hearing it like from the author itself was
it was really good. The way she read it, it was kind of, at first it was kind of like monotone, but like when she would read like certain things that like hurt the most to her, she was like, you can tell that it really bothered her, and it was like really sensitive things, but it was like really well written.
It's always nice hearing authors read their work.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a biography or a memoir.
Yeah.
It always hits different. My next book was an Audible original, Call Me Maybe. So it was written specifically for Audible, so can we get it there?
Okay.
So good. So cute. What I needed after like the different like spooky reads. It was a nice little break, a different tone change. Super quick, super easy. Even my husband, who doesn't listen to audiobooks with me, totally loved it. He was even like, when are we gonna finish it? Let's listen to it. Like, we don't need music. It was so good. So I gave it 4 stars.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
For sure.
That's the one you were talking about, right? Yeah. Well, continuing on my Anita Blake journey, I read The Lunatic Cafe, number 4. This one I gave 4 stars. I don't remember why I gave it 4 stars though, guys, I'm gonna be honest. Lunatic Cafe. I don't know why I gave it 4 stars. I've read so many of these Anita Blake books. I'm trying to remember what happened in the Lunatic Cafe.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing that you can't remember?
No, I think it's a good thing because it's like starting to feel like just one big book. Like,
okay.
I'm just like on one big journey now.
That's nice. Okay,
Yeah.
You know what? Alright, I get behind
Like,
that.
and then I don't want to stop. Like, I just want to continue going. Like, I would just want to keep finding out what's happening. So,
okay.
like, I kind of feel like maybe that 4 stars wasn't deserved. I probably was feeling some type of way about something. I don't know.
But I don't remember it. Sorry now.
That's all I got, yeah. 'Cause I don't remember.
Okay, so my next read was called Shades of Fear. It was multiple authors, but it was also, I think they were donating, and it was like for a cause. Can't remember what it was for, but I know that it was for October, and it was like different authors talking about their different fears and making fictional stories about them, and they were really good. Some were ghost stories, some were psychological, others were like, for instance, like one was about fear of filing a divorce, but she made it like a ghost story. So that was really good.
She made it a ghost story?
She did. She made it a ghost story, and I was like, that was really, really good.
How? Now I need to know.
And I was like, wow, like, I would have never thought of that. So, but I gave it a 4 star. Some of the stories were kind of like, but others were better. So if you want to read that collection, that's something that I recommend. It's on Amazon.
It's always hard to like rate like collections by different authors.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the different authors and how they write. And then you have to rate it by...
And you might vibe with one author's writing, and someone else will vibe with someone else's.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting. The ratings always confuse me.
Yeah.
Because you'll get some people who are like, oh, this one was so good. And then someone else is like, no. So bad. Cannot.
Right.
For me, keeping on my Victoria Schwab, Chasity Blake kick, I read Tunnel of Bones, which was the sequel to City of Ghosts. Again, 4 stars. Shorter than the first one, which I didn't expect. Creepier than the first one.
Okay.
Something about kids. Exactly. You get it. Something about kids, just like in spooky, like scary stories, get me every time. So, I give it 4 stars.
Okay. Speaking of creepy, the next one I read was Carrie by Stephen King. We loved it. Didn't we, Chloe? I gave it 3 stars. And here's the reason why.
Yeah, I have to know.
Okay. So, my favorite part probably was the writing style. Okay, I really enjoyed the writing style. I liked... Okay, first of all, you're like trying to run away.
Goodbye. Come again when you can stay longer.
There you go. Okay, bye. The writing style. I really enjoyed that there were different parts that were like from, like it seemed like a book or a transcript or like, you know, different people's opinions from like interviews and stuff, and it was like back and forth. But there were some parts that were like really abrupt, like point of view changes that confused me a bit. So that kind of sucked. But I mean, I got it. I understood. Although, I don't fully, I mean, I guess I do understand why it's considered horror, but then again, I don't. So, I get why it's horror, and then I don't, but that's my own thing. Like, I feel for myself it wasn't horror, because I just I wasn't scared, really, and to be fair, I guess I'm kind of mean, because I just felt like they all deserved it.
I also agree.
You be right. You right.
be right.
I mean, they treated that girl like shit. And if I had the powers that she did, well, I mean, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
They were terrible to her.
They were awful.
So, I mean...
I get it. I get the motivation.
Yeah,
I mean, you reap what
the
you
motivation.
sow. So, I mean, like, you should probably be nice to people, and then you won't, like, die in a blazing fire.
The golden rule.
Just don't do it. Prom was fucked up, alright?
Yeah.
Alright. The shower scene, fucked up.
That was so
fucked up, alright? You'll deserve the fire that you got, okay? Sorry, not sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Is it mine? Okay. So my next book was called Thor by J.C. Andrzejewski.
I'm you wearing a Loki shirt right now.
Yeah, that's you wearing a Loki shirt. And I don't know what to say other than this book was about a nerd who goes to a bar and she meets Thor. And it's a story of their romance. I rated this a 3-star. I questioned why was Thor at a bar, but it makes sense.
I mean,
it makes sense.
Another.
And why this just you should read it. I have questions why Thor was doing certain things. He's a god because they were weird. And
okay, now I need to know. What was he doing? What?
I don't want to give away the plot.
Okay, well, we need to have a discussion afterwards, then, because you can't just drop that.
Jane wishes she could.
If you want a Thor romance, read that one. Only on Amazon.
Okay.
Or just go to your local AO3. Get one of those extra
Yeah,
years going.
it was actually, I think it started off as a fan fiction. And then fanfiction.net, and then she made it kind of into a book.
Fanfiction.net.
So that's fun.
He said it's on Amazon.
You said it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Get some downloaded later.
Is it on Kindle Unlimited?
Oh. Okay,
alright. We're game now.
Discussion video. I also read the third book of the Chasity Blake series.
No way.
I did! It's Bridge of Souls. I didn't like it as much as the other ones.
No, was it spooky? Did it freak you out like the kids?
No, it did not.
No.
Kids just have a hold, man.
Kids scare me too.
I still give it 4 stars though because it was enjoyable. Again, still so much shorter. I think this one was like 189 pages. Quick and easy read, middle grade.
Okay.
You got kids, you want them to be scared, give it to them, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, next one, Bloody Bones, number 5 in the Anita Blake series by Laura K. Hamilton.
What a change,
right? Listen, I told you I needed to know what was happening. It was spooky season. I was following. I had become part of these vampires and these shifters, and I needed to know what the hell we were doing and what was going on.
Is my
Yeah. Oh wow. My next book is called Kiss of Snow by Nalini Singh. I believe that's how you say her last name. And it's about a changeling. Her name is Sienna. And it's a really good sci-fi fantasy book. I really liked it. Which is why I'm trying to finish reading A Court of Thorns.
got him.
We're gonna get her in it.
Right? So this one was really good, and I'm gonna try to finish the series. And I rated it like a 4-star. I was trying to find different sci-fi romances that I enjoy and don't stop reading. And this is one of them. This is one of them.
That's
it's
fair.
really good.
That's fair.
To take a break from my spooky season, I read The Bride Test by Helen. Is it Hong or Hoang? I don't know. I'm so sorry.
I have no idea. I constantly apologize for butchering names on this channel.
I think it's yeah. I gave it 4 stars. I read the what was the first book? I don't remember. I read the first
Kiss
book.
Quotient?
Yes, thank you.
Haha.
Kiss Quotient. And I absolutely adored that one. So I picked up The Bride Test. Adored it. I didn't love it as much as the first one, but I know the third one just got released. The Heart Principle?
Oh, yes.
And that one's on my next. It's like on my list. She's got a way of writing like cute, funny romances that like hit hard with like real life.
I just put The Kiss Quotient on my Christmas list.
So good. It has a way of hitting hard with like without being too heavy and downer.
Okay.
10 out of 10 recommend.
I was really like a creature of habit this month.
What do you mean?
It was not Anita Blake. But it was the Seabreeze series by Abby Glyons. Hold on tight. Number 8. I gave it 4 stars. I really, really, really liked this one. So this was the story of Dwayne and Sienna.
Wow, look at that.
I really, really liked this story. The plot for this one was really good. I feel like this one changed a lot from the rest of the Seabreeze series. I liked this one for the plot more than anything. I did like the characters, but the actual story was a lot better than the rest of them. So this is probably my favorite storyline of the series. Not necessarily my favorite characters, but favorite storyline.
I'll probably try to read the series.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. It's probably my favorite series of her that I've read. I've read 3 of her series. It's probably my favorite that I've read of her.
Okay, so my next book was When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole.
Oh, I want to read that.
And I had a hard time reading it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't.
It's probably because it's a new. I don't read a lot of thrillers and a lot of psychological. Yeah, you would probably enjoy it. I don't read a lot of psychological thrillers often. That's why I was trying to read all of October. But it's really, you know, the usual move into a new place, neighbors are weird, plot, and
So I don't talk to my neighbors.
Yep.
Samesies.
I really had nothing else to say other than it was 4 stars. It really took me a long time to read this book. It took me a minute.
Was it a satisfying ending at least?
I've had better.
The way she said it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Maybe you guys would enjoy it better than me.
I don't know. I have a very love-hate thing with thrillers because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm never satisfied by the endings.
I don't think I was either, and it's probably because I have such a high expectation
As you
that I was like, oh, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the book was for me.
Are we still talking about books here?
I'm not really sure if we're still talking about books.
Well, let's circle it back a minute and go back to Carrie because I also read Carrie this month or October. I gave it 3 stars as well.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Kind of the same feelings you had. They absolutely deserved it.
Okay, see.
I got confused a lot. I had to circle back and reread sections because they do that whole like
Jumping perspective.
there's jumping perspectives. I did like the way it was written with the different like interviews and the scientific research papers. Very interesting. Again, I also don't know why it's horror. I get it, but I don't get it.
Right, it's just very...
I understand why it's like a classic and like a cult favorite. I guess it's not even like a cult favorite because it's like very popular. But I get it. It just wasn't my favorite Stephen King.
I don't know what else you would classify it as, though, I guess.
It's
though,
not even
unless
psychological.
horror.
It's not even.
I don't...
So I guess it has to fall
I
in
guess
horror.
it does have to fall. Because I'm trying to think what else you would classify it as, and I guess it really doesn't fall
Yeah.
into any other category.
I have no clue. But I gave it 3 stars.
Maybe paranormal, but I
guess.
guess.
I don't know. 3 stars. Not my favorite. Not my least favorite by Stephen King either, though. So it falls like right in there in the middle.
Same. So. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing on with my Anita Blake journey. Number 6 was The Killing Dance, and I gave it 5 stars. Yes. So in The Killing Dance, I feel like we're finally getting somewhere in The Killing Dance because two of my favorite things happen. I can't tell you what they are, but two of my favorite things happen. And Anita starts making some of the correct decisions.
Damn, took it that long?
Well, you have to understand, there's a lot going on in her world. All these new, shifters. It's not just like werewolves.
Okay.
There's like were-leopards, were-hyenas, were-rats.
So, I'd love to see a were-leopard, not gonna lie, like, kind of sign me up for that one.
Yeah, but do you know what you don't sign me up for? Fucking were-rats, okay? No, count me out. I'm out.
Sounds like...
Nope, count me out.
Sounds like the were-rat king is about to be the next villain of my D&D game.
Yes. Fucking do it.
My next book was Sophie's Choice by William Styron, and it follows a boy who is a fictional writer, and his name is... What's that guy's name? Can't remember his name right now.
We're not good at remembering names.
Can't remember his name.
Don't worry.
But he goes to a woman's house named Sophie and finds out that she was a Holocaust survivor, and he starts writing stories about her and her lover. And it's also a movie. Most of my books are adapted into movies, but this one was really good. I gave it a 4-star because I love the stories, like the history and the fictional stories going together. Also into a lot of Holocaust stories, so that was really, really good.
I wrote that down. I'm gonna read that.
I didn't know it was about Holocaust stories.
It sounded familiar. Yeah.
I've
It's
heard about
Sophie ends up being someone who survived in the Holocaust, and it follows the,
I had no clue. That makes, because I've always seen the name, heard it, and I was kind of a creature of habit too. I went back to the Audible original, and she had another one, which follows a character from the first book. It's called Sweet Talk.
Oh, yeah.
I gave this one 5 stars. I liked it more than the first one.
No way.
I did.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I thought they had a very cute dynamic. Some people were having a hard time figuring out who the main, the girl is, because she does this whole thing where she's like, I don't want you to know who I am, so I'm gonna play, you can guess kind of game. And some people had apparently a hard time figuring it out. I feel like it was pretty obvious from the get-go.
Okay.
Once they introduced her character in his side, because it goes his perspective, her perspective. It's confusing. I'm not explaining very well.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, once they introduced her without introducing her,
right,
from his perspective, it was very that's who she is. That makes sense.
Okay.
It was very good. I thought it was very cute. I enjoyed it.
And you understood as the reader, who she was.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. And I hope there's a third one because I'd be down for that. I don't know who they would do it about, but I have ideas. Hit me up. I got you.
You're I can write it. The next one I read was number 7 of the Anita Blake series, Burnt Offerings. This one had some really disgusting villains. That made me really sick to my tummy.
Oh yeah?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm usually cool with the villains. Yeah, fuck these guys. Okay.
Wow.
Ooh.
So strong.
Made me want to bomb.
Oh god, not bad.
That bad?
Oh. Burnt Offerings. It's all in the title right there.
Oh.
Puke.
Well, I didn't puke in my next read.
Good segue. 10 out of 10.
My next book was called The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. And it's basically about a girl named Megan Chase. And see, all of October, I've been trying to read The Court of Thorns and Roses, and I always stop. But I always seem to find other books that could lead me to read this book. And this is about a girl who ends up going to the world of the Fae. And it's a romance.
Girl.
So, this was a 5-star for me.
It was a
5-star and you won't read ACOTAR?
See? They're coming at me already.
Alright, we got her through the first 5 chapters.
Wait,
and now she wants to read more.
Success.
Yes, it is exciting. This one I recommend. If you read A Court of Thorn and Roses or reading, you should read this series too.
Is it YA?
It is.
Okay, so if you're expecting spice, don't.
Well, actually,
Whoa.
I don't think it is.
YA?
Iron King, I think Iron King.
It is?
I think it is YA.
Okay, yeah.
Because I see it often recommended.
There's enough
like, Cruel
spice if you're into, it's enough spice as there was in Twilight.
Oh yeah, and it's YA. It's YA, y'all.
But you know what? It was worth, and I need to read the other ones.
It was a series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I knew there was. I know the book. I just didn't know it was a full-on series. Is there a lot, or is it like, do you know?
I don't think there's a lot.
I think there's only like 5.
Yeah, only 5 books.
That's not bad at all. Okay, sure.
No. It's kind of funny how I was reading all these books and then I didn't read. I didn't read it.
Now she's like, oops.
Was no regret when she was talking to us. I went back to another Audible original. This one was What the Hex. It says 3 stars, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think it's 2 stars for me.
I really had trouble getting into that one. I could not.
It's okay. It says it's a novella, which is why it's so short. It's very choppy, very like jumps around. It's like insta romance. Did not care for it. The spice scenes were just like out of nowhere and had no place. So I think I'm gonna have to drop that on the 2 stars.
I don't blame you. I
don't think I cared for the narrator that much.
No.
So boo on that one,
Just
but
wasn't working.
you win some, you lose some.
True. So the next one I read was The Haunting of Clandestine House by Selena Myers. That one I gave 2 stars. It definitely gave me the spooky vibes.
Okay.
It was spooky. It did kind of creep me out, I'm not gonna lie, which is hard to do. So, good job on that. The writing, definitely needs some work. Definitely needs an editor for sure, like a new editor probably. There were a lot of like missing problems, like lots of misspellings and punctual errors, but also like not one full letter D was in the book, like a printing error or an editing error, I'm not really sure, but every single word that had a D in it, it was not printed.
Interesting.
Was this like a physical book or was it on your Kindle?
It was a physical book.
That's really weird.
It was very strange. Very, very strange.
I'm surely that's a printing error.
It's gotta be.
Yep.
Gotta be.
That's so specific.
It's so specific, but it was very, very strange and very off for me to read. So I don't know if that was done in like many copies or it could have just been done in mine. But like it really threw off my reading game. So like that's not an author issue. That's obviously just a printing issue. That's just me mentioning
Unless
like
the author did it on purpose.
that.
Yeah.
Really threw me off.
That's what I was gonna say.
So I think it really needed to be like explained. The story starts and it's too instant. We're jumping from one thing to another, and these characters, they're not built. It's this instant connection, these instant things start happening, and especially with like purchasing a house and a haunted history within the house, and these things start happening and we're trying to build this history, and it was just way too instant. It was just not built out like it should have been. It had a lot of potential. I really enjoyed the plot. I really enjoyed the ending. I just wish that more time was taken and more energy was put into actually building out a book. I definitely think the author could definitely grow as a writer and has a lot of potential. It just needs more work. That's all.
My next book was called White Smoke by Tiffany Jackson, and that's a YA novel. And that was a really, really, really good book. If you really like a lot of stories about haunted houses, that was one that I I usually don't read a lot of them, but that was one that I really enjoyed. I liked the way that she handled the story and didn't make it like your typical haunted house story.
Okay.
It was psychological, but it wasn't your usual telling of a haunted house. It was very strange.
Interesting.
Weird. Yeah, so it was really good. It's a book talk. It's my first time looking. It actually was an ad on Facebook and it was on Book Talk. So I was like, wow, maybe I should read it.
I have a love-hate relationship with book talk.
Yep, me too.
My next book was a reread. I decided I want to relive my middle school days.
Okay.
I reread 8th Grade Bites. Vladimir Todd, number 1! So I think they're still published under Heather Brewer, but I do believe they came out. Yeah, it's Z Brewer.
Is it Z Brewer?
That's what it says on the
okay.
Yeah. Still really good. Very obviously written for children.
Yes.
Like, it's very fun. It's very quick. It's very cute. Also, I just like vampires.
Same.
And I've always thought about, like, why don't vampires just go for the blood packs? And there you go. Go for the blood banks.
Yeah, see, that makes more sense.
Exactly.
That makes more sense to me.
It's less fresh. I get it, but come on. Yeah. Well, you gotta warm it up.
But yeah, you can put it in.
He does.
No, just don't warm it up too long.
You got a point. All right. You know what? Touche. I gave it 3 stars.
I'd be a good vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 stars. It's pretty good. Pretty
I
average.
might even be a good vampire.
They could just also, if they needed to warm it up,
I'm
they
too
could just
fucking
put it
tired
in
to be a
warm
vampire.
water and let it soak for a minute
Exactly.
in the pack.
Exactly.
And then let it warm up.
Why?
That's
Yeah.
still reheated food, Alicia. It's not fresh.
Always fresh. Never
always
Wendy's. Is that the Wendy's?
Y'all.
Watch that part like Arby's or something.
So the next one I read was Blue Moon, number 8 in the Anita Blake series. I gave it 5 stars.
Wild.
Big surprise! I'm just blowing your guys' mind. This
Came
video.
out of nowhere.
I know. Fucking amazing.
Never saw it coming.
I know. Are you done?
I'm not. I have one more actually.
One more, okay. Then I picked it up correctly.
Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bowley. I believe that's how you say her last name. If not, I'm so sorry. And this one follows a girl who lives on a Native American reserve. And I think it's Ojibwe, I believe. And her mother falls ill, and it's a fantasy novel. I don't want to give away the plot, so it was really good. I gave it 4 stars.
Fair.
Yeah. It's a good white.
Good reading for October.
Yeah.
Good reading for October.
For real. Speaking of good reading, I read book 11 of Ice Planet Barbarians.
I cannot.
It's called Barbarian's Hope. You can stop after 10, guys. It's fine.
You have to read the first 10 though.
No, you don't.
That's what she just said.
No,
she
you
said
can
it.
stop
You have
after
to.
10 because then it just gets repetitive. I mean, it's repetitive beforehand. Stop.
When you get to 10, it's
Okay, no. It's all right. You guys judge me, but listen, it's not that bad.
Okay.
What is it called again?
Ice Planet Barbarians.
It's about girls who get abducted by aliens, and then they pretty much get like dropped off in like a, you know, like, oh, our ship is crashing, we gotta drop off the cargo, we'll come back for it later. So they get stranded on another alien planet, and they have to learn to live with the species there.
Sounds like a manga, I must say.
You know what? I'd read it if it was a manga. Obviously, because I read 11 books. I gave it 2 stars.
Because again, you could stop after 10.
Yep.
Also, I just didn't like it's about, okay, this is the first one without, like, the romance being between a human and an alien. It's both aliens.
Oh, well, what's the fucking point then?
You're telling me.
No, I'm really confused.
We have to have this side story
of alien.
and alien.
I understood.
Well, then, but why? Because isn't everything like... Wait, I'm confused. What's the point? Why are we doing
What's the first 9 about? The first 9 before we get... What? It's just...
I just explained it
It's
to you.
just the first...
Okay, so...
That's not...
They get stranded, and the big group of girls, they have to learn, and there's this whole thing called a cootie that they have to get it to survive on this like planet.
You're shitting.
Stop!
You're shitting me. It's literally called a cootie.
The females call it, the humans call it a cootie. I don't know the alien term for it. I just breezed by it. I'm like, cool, cootie, gotcha. Continue. Anyway,
If we want to survive on this planet, Alicia, we have to get the cootie.
If you don't get it, you die. You literally get so sick, you die.
I would literally rather die than get a cootie.
Well, they're all like, but if you get the cootie, they also, the cootie mates you to somebody.
I'd rather die.
Yeah.
No, I really rather die.
It's a parasite?
Yeah, it's a parasite.
Does it look like
that?
this? Do I get mated to that?
No, you get to a
Then
big
I'm gonna
ass
die.
blue alien with a dick the size of a baseball bat. And he's
I'll
got
die.
a spur.
Thanks, I'll die.
He's got a spur.
I'll die.
I like how she said the spur.
I literally told Jess about the spur, and she was like, "That's disgusting."
I will die, thanks.
But apparently,
Wow.
the spur is like the best thing. So.
Oh, what is it?
That's what they
Is
say.
it?
I
Okay.
don't know. My husband doesn't have a spur. My husband is human. But yeah, that's basically
I'll
the plot.
skip on the cutie.
It's literally them, it's them being mated off. Every book.
Made it off.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Whether
die.
you want it or not, you're getting mated.
Well, I'll die. Thanks.
And the cootie makes you horny, so you just want to fuck.
I'll die. Bye.
Whoever has this creativity,
Her name is Ruby Dixon.
well, oh.
The first book is getting re-released this month with a nice new cover, guys. So
Does it have the spur on it?
doesn't have the spur. The spur's not even introduced until like book 2 or 3, guys.
Well,
Okay, well. Moving on in a completely different direction. Right. My last book I
Does
read
not compare.
definitely is on like the opposite side of the spectrum. Was titled The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom.
Does that have spurs in it?
No.
Anyway.
In fact, there's no sex at all.
I mean, it mentions heaven, so.
You think?
You think what?
You think you'd like have the best sex there? That's what I think.
You get cooties there.
I don't know, man.
What'd you get?
It didn't sound like any kind of heaven I want to be in.
Oh.
Kind of go through all these steps. You know?
That's a lot of work. When I die, you just send me.
just
Just send me up or down, just like whatever
Wow,
is
I
the
already
least
have it.
effort.
No, but this really was a good book. So it's 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars. I
That's
really
good.
did enjoy it. It was definitely like the first 5. You have to get through like 5 people.
Okay.
Because it's like talking to you about like how you made an impact on their lives or they made an impact on your life, and some of them are people that you like knew, some of them are people you didn't know,
Oh, that's
like had
interesting.
fairly impacted, like that you didn't even know you
You
impacted
just kind
their
of like
life,
walk
or-
by them on the
yeah,
street.
yeah, like you didn't even know you impacted their life, or like people that did really impact your life. It was very interesting.
That
It
does
was like
sound
a
interesting.
tale of like humanity, and like very, very cool. I actually picked up the second book today.
Oh, there's okay.
There's 2 of them. I don't really know if they have the same people. I'm assuming that the second one maybe
Another,
has
like,
another story like that. But I really liked it, and it was pretty short, so I really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was my final read in October. It wasn't spooky. It wasn't sexy. But it was good.
Sometimes that's all you need is a good book. Like,
Yeah.
no other, like, gimmicks. You just need a good book about heaven.
Yep. About heaven.
Take me to church.
Take me to church.
My last read was The Mist by Stephen King. 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite Stephen King. It's real short. Novella. It's so short. It's so good.
I love that book.
The movie, the original movie.
The original is really
Oh, the original book.
Creeps-
The
the original book.
The original book. Because you know it's been rewritten so many times. The original
Fantastic
movie's so
though.
good.
It's so vivid. Like, I read it in high school and I just forgot like just how good the descriptions are. So, like, when I went to bed, because this was the one I read up until like
I
midnight.
don't want to talk about it.
I literally went to bed and I was just like, I was still hearing like these spiders and things in my head and I was like, I can't do it.
I was so mad about it. We were tied. We got off work. She went home and read The Mist. I came home. My dog was sick. And I laid down with her and fell asleep. And she read The Mist.
Yeah,
and then won.
I did my homework.
I couldn't let us tie.
Well, but The Mist was, you know, a good
It was so good. It was a good like ending. I did start sometime in the middle of October the XX, and I was gonna finish that. Could not. I didn't finish it until like a couple days ago. It was just so slow.
Yeah, there were a few other ones. Like Desperate Measures, I started in October, but I did not finish it because I just felt like it was. I was having some of the same issues you were.
Yeah. Listen, I got
still
to see
haven't
it through,
finished
my
it.
boys. Got to see it through.
I still didn't finish it. She still hasn't finished A Court of Thorns and Roses.
You got to see it through.
But she's gonna see it through.
Yep.
She gonna.
We're all seeing it through together.
Yep.
Again.
I don't even know how many times I've read this book now.
This will be my fourth time? Third, fourth?
I've lost count, honestly.
I've only read the rest of the series once though.
Really?
Mhm.
I think I've read the rest of the series more than this one.
Fair.
I usually skip right to number 2.
Fair. I'm shocked I haven't reread Silver Flames.
5 chapters or something.
I have not.
The first 5 chapters.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there'll be more to come on that
Yep.
one. Well, that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed our reading wrap-up in October about our little competition. Anyways, comment down below and let us know what you read in October. Hit that like button and subscribe. Bye! Bye!